recording. Okay, now I'm recording. Like a VOD. So, my, my initial thought that my brother had bought me something illegal goes unrecorded, but live. You had to be here to see it. It's just you and me here right now, so secret's safe with us. Commander underscore Freddy. That's me. The I live right across from Central Station, and they're doing the 24-hour work cycle at the moment, so that all of the people, the Twitch life are either having too many viewers or one viewer. Yep, that's how it be. Um, I set a hotkey so that every time I press W, my webcam disappears, just in case I need to quickly go offline. But it does that regardless of what window I'm in, so I just like occasionally blip out every time I'm like posting about the stream or something. Return. Oh, my neighbors are vacuuming, so it's just a whirlwind of strange noises at the moment. Such is the life of living in an apartment. If you, my latest YouTube video, I just sort of have to sit there and wait as my neighbors like have a shower. Thin walls, fun times. I wonder if you could like keystroke and like decode what I'm saying just by the amount of W's I'm pressing. Fix that a little bit. So, Signs of the Sojourner is it's kind of like I'd call it like a deck building visual novel. So, it's about creating concordant or discordant conversations. And the way you do that is by playing cards that match what your conversation partner has just played. It's pretty easy symbol matching kind of deck building thing, but it's really interesting because, as characters will tell you, and as you know from existing in real life, you can't please everyone all of the time. So different people will have different symbols that they favor, but you can only hold a certain amount of cards at any one time. So, for example, let's say you go to the city of triangles and circles, and I have a lot of triangles and circle cards. Great, I can get along with most people there. But then you're in a caravan on a trade journey. So I go to the city of triangles and circles, I get along great with everyone, and I buy a lot of items from them for my caravan. And then I go to the next city, and this is the city of diamonds and squares. Because my deck is full of circles and triangles, I can't get along with any of these people. So it's stuff like that, where you sort of have to prioritize what sort of people you want to talk to. And it's impossible to get everything or find out all the lore in a single run. And I find that really interesting. So we might do a couple of runs. They're not too long. Each game has 5 journeys, and yeah, you need to play multiple games in order to get everything out of the game as a program. Like I said, it's a game I wish more people knew about. It's in both the itch.io bundle for racial justice and the bundle that they did for Palestinian aid. So if you bought either of these, it's impossible to get all the lore in one run. Like Undertale, yes. The indie game curse of being like, ah, yes. So like Undertale. That's the thing about Undertale though, is that it strikes a lot of the perfect kind of tropes you can get in indie games where they sort of force you to think, and the game mechanics that force you to think tend to be at their... Undertale is so good because it takes those mechanics to the best. So any other game that also takes one or more of those mechanics to the best gets compared to Undertale. And I think that's a big compliment, but it's also kind of like a thing. Like every time a new indie game comes out, it's like, how can I make this about the font skeletons? You're going to have a bad time. But like I said, it's in both the Itch, Palestinian Aid, and Racial Justice bundles. So if you bought either of those, you can dig this out of the mountain of content you got for that donation. And I highly recommend that you do. But let us begin. I think, yeah, there's 4 people here. One of them is me in a different tab. Hello, 3 people. We begin with a childhood spat. The worst fight you and Elias ever had was over a strange locket in Mum's desk. Curiosity got the best of you, but Elias was afraid of getting in trouble. Yeez, baby. Your mum has collected so much cool stuff in here. How many towns has she visited now? I forgot to turn on the tutorial. I wonder if I can do that from here. Tutorials, yes. Okay, from now on we'll get tutorials so you know what's going on. But basically, Elias speaks in triangles and circles. And, oh, it gave me a tutorial. Thank you. And we drag and drop cards onto the player mat to match. So his card begins with a triangle and ends with a circle. So our card has to begin with the circle to match the circle that his ends on. And because this is the first conversation of the game, they all work. See? Green. Yep, just keep going. And when they all match, we've had a concordant conversation. So when we get to the end of a sequence successfully, we've had a concordant conversation. But if, for example, I play a circle when he ended in a triangle, we'll get a mismatch. One of these black squares here. When we've gotten all of one type of square, we will have completed this conversation, and it will either be a concordant, successful conversation, or it will be a discordant, unsuccessful conversation. So we've had a concordant moment, so we're having like a nice chat. Let's play Caravaneers, just like her. You be the driver, and I'll be the navigator. Wait, hang on. You shouldn't look in her desk. She's gonna be mad. Is that a locket? I've never seen your mum wear a locket. This one's a double. If he also... we'll get to that mechanic when it comes up. I'm getting ahead of myself. But as you see here, he's played a triangle. I have nothing that begins with a triangle, so I'm going to have a mismatch here. He's grumpy. Hey! You're not listening. We shouldn't be snooping. So when you get a mismatch, everything defaults backwards. He's played a mismatch because he didn't have anything that begins with a triangle. Why do you always drag me into stuff like this? Put it back before we get caught. That fight could only have ended how it did. It's the tutorial conversation. You and Elias talk past each other. Sometimes Mum said it's fine not to get along, but that time she stepped in to mediate. Yeah, Mum. You two, what are you doing in here? I need to leave soon. The caravan's almost here. Come say goodbye. What are you even fighting about? Yes. So when you and the other player each play one card connecting 4 of the same symbol in a row. So this, you can see here. A chord will protect your progress when a mismatch is made. So you make a mismatch, and it doesn't default all the way back to the beginning, it just gets rid of the accord. So you can continue on from that card that was mismatched and played. It's okay not to always understand each other. One miscommunication doesn't have to end a friendship. Let me help you figure this out. If you get a little lost, think about how he's reacted in the past, how you've been able to connect and get past your differences. Because Mum's here helping us. We have so many chances to get things wrong. But yeah, tutorial case, we're going to be fine. And you can continue a chord by continuing the streak. See, we got a chord all the way up to the end here, which would continue on to the next round if we had another next round. Not all disagreements have to be the end of your friendship. Listen to each other. See if you can find common ground. You'd think back on that fight years later, after Mum passed on, when you and Elias had to rely on each other all the more. 15 years later. It's your first time back inside Mum's old store since the funeral. All told, she didn't leave much. She was always on the road, and what she brought back sold fast. Elias runs his hand down an empty shelf before clearing his throat. Yeah, sudden grief time skip. And now we are adult. You feel it too, don't you? The weirdness of being in here without your mum. Can't seem to wrap my head around her being gone. My bad. Now I'm the one making things weird. Yeah, see, we're a cat girl. We never see the protagonist's face. It's always just like silhouetted cat girl. But we do get some great little scenes, depending on decisions that we make. We get to see the protagonist just hanging out. Being a cat girl shopkeeper. Carrying on from their mother's legacy of also being a cat girl shopkeeper. Hence the title of the stream. Yeah, you're right. She wouldn't want us to dwell. I gotta cheer up. After all, she always looked so pleased when she was here. Making people smile, giving them samples of cool new stuff, even if they were broke. I think it might just have been her favorite place. Like I said, I love the sound design here of just the cards moving. It makes me want to just get a pack of cards and shuffle it like physically with my hands. The sounds are so tactile, I love them. She'd be so happy to see the two of us taking over the store like this. You out there on the open road, and me, keeping an eye on things here, which is totally just as exciting. Not that I mind, of course. Being stuck out there in the caravan would drive me crazy. Violently shuffles cards. God, yeah, okay, I've been binging Star Trek? Whatever the fuck Star Trek is, I want to watch it. I've been binging Star Trek, I'm on the Next Generation, and there's a scene where Data, clearly the actor Brent Spiner had learnt how to do this for the role, or if it was just a skill he had, where he can like shuffle a pack of cards with one hand. And like in the context of the show, it's like, oh, he's an android, that's a cool ability he has. But I'm just thinking about the actor doing that with his real human fingers, where he just like splits it and like reshuffles it, and I'm like, what is going on with your fingers, dude? So Elias has played an accommodate card. This is his sort of like trademark thing, as we'll find out as we play more. So this is a card that is empty on symbols when it's in your hand. And what it does is that it duplicates the previous card. So it's really good for when the previous card is like a double, like here. But when you play a card that's two different symbols and you duplicate it, it's not going to match. But it is useful because it duplicates doubles and can continue a chord. That is a needlessly difficult phrase, can continue a chord. Oh, there's the caravan now, right on schedule. The leader, Nadine, runs a tight ship, but I don't trust her. I hear she's planning to drop the town from the caravan route. That'd be really bad for Barto. Hey, while you're out there, maybe you can change her mind. No matter what, you're gonna do great. I'll bet you come back with a bunch of cool stuff. You packed everything you need, right? Socks? If the truck breaks down out there and you don't have socks, it's all over. Don't worry about this place. It's in good hands. Take care of yourself out there. Elias is such a good friend. You'll miss Elias too, and wish you didn't have to leave so soon. You've planned this trip for a while, but it only started to feel real in the last few hours. The store needs 3 new products. So at the end of each conversation, you get to pick a card from your conversation partner's deck to adopt into your own deck. But as you see here, we only have 10 cards that we can hold at any one time. So I want to pick the accommodate because I don't have any double triangles. And if someone plays a double triangle, I can't continue that accord. But if I have the accommodate card, I can duplicate their double triangle and continue. So I'll get rid of one of my double circles because I have like so fucking many. This is home. Barto. Barto. Quiet enough to hear the grasshoppers rub their wings together at dawn and the crickets at dusk. You know the name, nickname, and favourite colour of every person in town. It's past time to leave for a spell. And having just arrived is Nadine, the resolute leader of the caravan. Here you can see the kind of cards she'll play. So, thankfully, we're in the city of triangles and circles, so we'll be able to get along with her. Follow close. Almost a dozen vehicles sputter down Barto's dirt roads. The engines once signals Mum's imminent departure, as well as her return. Nadine, sitting on the running board of her truck cab, gestures for your attention. The music. I trust you have sufficient provisions for the route. Our first stop will be Pacino, the artists' colony. Nadine mentioned a place for Mum's stories. Pachinko. Be alert. Reptiles cross Thunder Lizard Road to their heart's content. You don't want guts on your windshield. Nadine told me about the road from home to Pachinko. So we need to learn about places and the route to get to them before we can drive to them. Otherwise we'd just be casting off into the wilderness, and the game doesn't let you do that because it'd be very stupid. My condolences for your loss. Your mum and I had our differences, but I respected her all the same. Before the caravan heads out, we need to talk. I love the art style for this too, the lightly sort of textured shading and highlights and stuff. Unless you turn this store around and keep it well stocked, the caravan will have to drop Parto from the route. Without the store in good shape, it doesn't make sense for the caravan to stop here. It's an awful waste of resources. I probably don't have to spell it out that this would be bad for Barto. I know you'll depend on the traffic. It's not my choice, not entirely. I make the final call, but I'm beholden to the caravan members and their needs. Believe it or not, Barto would be dropped already if I didn't owe your mum a favour. I argued on your behalf. It might not sound like it, kid, but I'm in your corner. My hands are tied with this. I want you to succeed. Nothing about this situation is good, but Nadine probably isn't to blame. You thank her for the info. So basically, there's a caravan full of different traders, and they travel all around the map of the known world, which is pretty small. And unless we can get enough stuff for our shop to make it worthwhile for all these traders to come here, they're just going to stop showing up, making our town lose that constant traffic, and potentially risking us turning into a ghost town. So at the end of each conversation, you get a little pop-up of the things that you've learned. We know the location of a new town and how to get there. And we also have something for our calendar. This is our calendar. Here we can see that the caravan's first stop will be in Pachinko. And here we can see that by the 33rd, we need to have 3 items back at home in Bartow in our store. Yeah, ghost town. It's spooky. But spooky Not in the sense of actual ghosts, just in the sense of a lot of people losing their homes and livelihood. So, here we have the opportunity to get something that starts with a triangle. I only have one card that starts with a triangle, so I'm definitely going to take that. So, when the cards are grayed out, you can't talk to the people, because Elias is currently working at the roadhouse, and Nadine has her hands on the steering wheel, so it's time for us to move on. So, before we head out, we get shown our calendar and everything we know so far. By like the last trip, this thing will be like full of random stuff that's going to be happening. In this, here we can see items, which is the stuff we've picked up for the store, cards that are currently in our hands, including the abilities we've discovered, and the profiles of everyone we meet and what sort of conversations we've had with them. So here, Elias, the best friend a person could ask for. We know that he's currently in Bartow, and we've had one concordant conversation with him and no discordant conversations with him. And look at how many bloody people there are in this game. It's amazing, the list of characters. This is why it takes more than one game to get through everyone and to find out everyone's deal. I still haven't found out everyone's deal, and I've played hours upon hours of this game. So this is Bartow, where we live, in our store, and our next stop is Pachenko, which we've learnt the road to. And this little icon here means that the caravan will be there. The blue thing is information that we have about it, and information that we have is that Mum's oldest friend Isabella lives here. So let's go. Each little dot on the road is a day of travel. So, Pachenko. The twisty canyon roads leading to Pachenko would send a green traveller in circles. A rundown vehicle has trouble with the last slope up to the plateau, but Nadine leaves no one behind. And this is Isabella, an amazing confectioner and an old friend of Mum's. Isabella keeps the door to her shop propped open, flooding Pachenko with the sweet scent of fresh licorice, caramels, and other sugary confections. Irresistible advertising. Oh, you're so far from home. When I saw you come in just for a moment, I've sworn you were her. The very image. I wish I could have stayed around longer after her funeral. I can't get much time away from the shop, you know. I'm not exactly sure what mechanic affects this, but see here, these two card slots crossed out means the final card we need to play is only 3 slots in, so it makes it easier. I think it's because we have like an established relationship with her. It was beautiful, her funeral. You did so well, scattering her ashes as the sun rose over the houses. Not a dry eye left in town that day. She chose Bartow. I knew her longer than anyone, and there's no place she'd rather rest. Glad I picked up that triangle card. So here's a new thing, clarify. You can insert it, you can use it as a regular card, or you can insert it in between already played cards to continue a chord, like that. Quite useful. Do you love licorice the way she did? I always saw her chewing on a rope like it was a stalk of wheat. Go on, have some. Take some for a store too. Well, your store. Sweet. So, we've got one item for the store, which pops up at the end of each conversation when there's a chance to get an item. So, we've got licorice from Pachenko. It reminds you of Mum. You were never close with Isabella, but she always seemed kind to Mum. This could be a chance to become better friends and sample some tasty candy. Yes. So we can grab this and replace one of our bland doubles with a double we can insert. Let's chat to Nadine. Nadine contemplates a cast bronze sculpture of a frill-necked lizard whose head has been replaced with a man's vacant features. She rubs her chin for a while, chewing on some thoughts. You handled those steep hills and inclines well. The caravan's next stop will be Clifton, the market town. The road we take is prone to landslides. Ride close. If I can't see your truck, I can't protect you. So, we've learnt where we're going next. Your mum, she had a lot of history here in Pachenko. Many friends, I believe. But you always loved the licorice. You admire the sculpture with Nadine in companionable silence for a moment, imagining how Mum must have found herself in an identical situation many, many times over the years. Not to put too fine a point on it, but that's one of the reasons I've been playing this game so much, is that it's a really nice sort of look at the protagonist moving on from the death of their mother in a healthy way, while at the same time grappling with some of the difficult aspects of that. Next up, Clifton. We don't know anything about Clifton, so we don't have a little teal pop-up thing. All we know is that the Canyons town has become some incredible views of the long expanse. Fatigue. Gain fatigue over time as you travel. Returning home and unpacking your items will remove it. Fatigue can't match with any symbols. They get shuffled into your deck and get played into your hand at random. And sometimes, if you've been on the road long enough, you'll end up with a hand just full of fatigue cards and nothing to do. There are ways to remove fatigue, but I don't think they're available in the first run. The first journey of a game, I mean. Every turn down the streets of Clifton seems to reveal another mountain in the distance, another horizon. Nadine doesn't stop for sightseers, though. You watch for pedestrians as the caravan rolls downtown. This is Ramir from the caravan, but I want to talk to the merchant first, Alexis, an enthusiastic peddler of salty snacks. The vendors of Clifton strive to overshadow their competitors with mountainous piles of goods. Among them, one stall stands out from the rest, accented with a colourful umbrella. Welcome, welcome. Join me in the shade. Try some spiced pecans. I have many varieties. Dozens! I love the fashions of this game. They're like a cross between like normal clothes you could see anywhere and fun fantasy moments. Many merchants here sell nuts. Yes, none are worth your time. Well, some are passable, but mine, the best. You're not from Clifton, I can tell. Welcome, welcome. You'll learn to blend in. You haven't yet, my poor fish. Or a cat, not a fish. Speak up, please. Use your market voice. Market voice. Yeah, they didn't have anything that began with a triangle, so they had a mismatch, which also counts to a discordant conversation. Going somewhere new, there's nothing better. Adventure, exploration, new varieties of roasted nuts, endless. How lucky you found me. These other merchants, I trust them as far as I can throw them. My friend, I have weak arms. I like that. I want to start saying that to people. And now I can't match. Great. Your eye wonders. Do I bore you? Please have a triangle. Yes, this is why I got this in the first place. We made it. I might have weak arms, but I have the most delicious almonds. Have as many as you desire. Alexis looks down at you. Alexis loads you down with enough roasted nuts to feed an elephant. They certainly know how to make a sale, or several. So now we have roast nuts, as well as licorice. More triangles for me. Let's talk to Ramir. From the caravan, he looks familiar. You know his name, Ramir. He grew up in Bartow. Travelled with the caravan. Turned from neighbour to visitor. He's sitting on the hood of his car the same way he used to sit off his porch way back in the day. Like I said, you could see, it's funny, you can see a dude named Ramir who looks exactly like this in real life, but also you're playing as a cat girl in the desert. I don't know, it just fascinates me. The style and art direction of this game just enchant me. First time with the caravan, ain't it? Hope your mum taught you the ropes. It's not easy out here. I remember my first time. Pachenko, Clifton, Buckenborough. Whirlwind of new experiences. Just keep it cool. The road to Buckenborough sheds a lot of tires. Don't panic if it all goes to hell. He's got an observe card, which reveals the other player's hand, so now he knows what I have, which is indicated by these little eye icons. Remember, everyone you meet out on the road is out here for a reason, and most won't tell you what that is. Don't believe every word that comes out of someone's mouth, even if they're nice. Especially if they're nice. I always respected your mum. She thrived out here, completely in her element. A shark if I ever knew one. Stop calling us fish, we're cats! Just because she had friends on the road doesn't mean you do. You don't inherit connections. It took your mummy years to build a network. It'll take you time too. I don't want to see you ruin what she made. You nod along to Ramir's advice. He glances over every so often to make sure you're paying attention, which seems to satisfy him. So, now we know the next stop for the caravan. Hey! A simple detour. The bright, unobstructed sun over Clifton powers up the truck quicker than usual. I like the little implication that our truck is solar powered. Uninvited, Ramir opens your passenger side door and hops inside. What a rude man. Got a proposition. The caravan usually gets around to Anka last, but I got something to take care of there. This is a fraught conversation. We have to get 3 concordant chats, but 1 discordant conversation, it's all over. It's that whole business with the railroad. Got a lot of folks working to get the trains back in operation. Whenever something like that goes on, there's money to be made. And I don't mean from manual labor. No thanks. The place the caravan goes to next, Buckenborough. It's in nowhere town. Let's focus on Bartow. It's serious. All the endless junk for sale in Anka would impress the homebodies back in Bartow. Worth your time. Hey, it might even be fun. The road from here goes on forever, feels like. I could tell you all kinds of stories. You don't have to decide right now. Just think about it. 2 Bartowers on the road, having an adventure. Seems Ramir really wants to stop by Anka. Could be good to do a favor by another Bartower. So Ramir is now in our truck with us. Yoink. I like to count how many I have in each start. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 circle starts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 triangle starts. So here, we now have 2 options. We know the paths to both Anka and Buckenborough. The caravan will be in Buckenborough next, but Ramir wants to go to Anka. So we've got this little slice here that says that Ramir wants to be dropped off here. He's in our truck. So we either go here with him, or we go to Buckenborough with the caravan, and Ramir is also still in our truck, so he's going to be pissed off at us when we get there. So here's the thing. Anka is a city that speaks in triangles and squares. We only have triangle and circle cards. But Buckenborough speaks in triangles and circles, so it would be easier for us to stick with the caravan, but there might be some extra opportunities in Anka. But is Nadine going to be mad at us for leaving? These are the decisions we must make, and it's one of the things that, changes the run. But as we can see here, there's only 1 person to talk to in Anka at the moment. These are randomized who is in each city. So, even if no matter how many times you play this game, it's always going to be different, even if you know exactly what you want to do. So, for example, if I went to Anka, I'd want to speak to two characters here, Big Basilio and Little Basilio, because I like them. But neither of them are this silhouette. But if we go to Book and Borrow, there's both Nadine and someone else. So I'm thinking we're going to stick with the caravan for this run. I love the Book and Borrow song. Hey! The vehicle rolls to a stop. Ramir hops out and retrieves his rucksack from the truck bed. He drums his knuckles on your window until you roll it down and talk to him. Pal, where are you even headed? We're further away from Anka. Sheesh, I'm gonna find another ride. You climbed into my truck. You could have gotten out of the truck. Don't sweat it. I know you knew the road or whatever. Still, don't make promises you can't keep. I didn't promise you anything. You climbed into my truck. You'll make it up to Ramir sometime. When or how, who knows. Favors are useful to have on the road. Get out me car. Yes, Matilda, that's her name. A red-tailed hawk perches on the dormant railroad tracks above Buckenborough, gulping down a lizard. The few vendors in town wait outside their stalls, windows cleaned and the sidewalks swept. They count on the caravan's arrival. Matilda, she's grinding leaves in a mortar. I love the backgrounds of the towns, and over the runs you'll see that they change depending on the decisions you make. Or even events out of your control. Matilda's business resides in a low, earth-coloured house, the first floor converted into a storefront. Barrels line the walls, filled with fresh tea leaves, whose scent compete for your attention. She's so cute. Hey, we've got a lucky duck over here. I was just about sold out of my world-famous matcha. I grind the tea leaves up myself. Takes so long, but it's soothing, not tedious. Kind of like meditation. Rats. She's got a shuffle card, which redraws your hand, so gets rid of your old hand, gives you a brand new one. I sourced the tea leaves from out near Althurst. Not enough shade around here. The sun is too brutal. Althurst. You ever been out that way? I swear, they won the climate lottery, but the sea will eat them first, so... Yeah, there's this... The way this story approaches, like, climate apocalypse is absolutely fascinating to me. I want to do, like, a whole YouTube video about it, like, analysing it. This sort of, like, mundane, everyday coping with a post-sea level risen world. That's just how it goes, huh? Pick up and move wherever it's still habitable. Who knows when the groundwater will run out here. That's why I meditate. Only peace I get from watching the world die around me. So, matcha? Come see me again and maybe I'll read your fortune, if you're lucky. Matilda's matcha smells incredible. You're lucky to have gotten some. She promised to read your fortune if you return. So, yeah, here's things we've ticked off. We didn't tick off Ramir's ride to Anka, but we've ticked off all the caravan stops so far. And if we go to items, we have 3 items, so theoretically we could already head home, but it's only the 13th, and we're not needed home until the 31st, so we may as well continue with the caravan. Boom, 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 boom. Nadine's enjoying a bowl of matcha. At a small table outside a store, Nadine whisks matcha in a tea bowl. Her motions are precise, not a single drop spills. Your presence feels intrusive, like you've interrupted some personal ritual. Still here? Your final stop on the route will be Aldhurst. Some call it scenic. I don't care for it. The road's in poor condition, more than most. Many travels bypass Buckenborough, but I enjoy their matcha. I like how she's threatening to drop Bartow from the route, but she still comes to this one tiny town just because she likes the tea. I mean, if it sells well. This place, Buckenborough, reminds me of Bartow. Do you find that to be an accurate assessment? You leave Nadine to sip her drink in peace. Boring ass card. Same card. The town symbol is even a little thing of matcha. Like, this is our one thing. Last stop is Aldhurst, which is circles and diamonds. And we don't have any diamond cards. So we're just going to cross our fingers and hope. Well, we now have 2 fatigue cards. Hope those don't end up too much in the mix. It's my cat, Salem. The central plaza bustles with families out enjoying the weather, weavers and rug makers in their open-air workshops, and old folks playing craval in the shade. Bartow only gets a couple days a year this mild. Salem, he's carrying heavy pots to his stall. Salem's stall lures in customers with heavy metal bowls of colourful kimchi samples. I want your kimchi. Enjoying the town? No trip is complete without some refreshing kimchi in your belly. I bury my stoneware in the earth. No artificial heat or cooling. I take a lot of pride in my ecological footprint. That's the beauty of kimchi. All natural fermentation. The good bacteria already exist in the vegetables. Surely they know about bacteria and wherever backwater caravan types you come from, yes? Love this guy. Of course, no offense intended. It's not easy keeping all your middle-of-nowhere towns straight. I even had a rather lively discussion on the subject with another caravaneer a while back. You come to think of it, you and her look a lot alike. We're like the only Catgirl family. Okay, so since he only has like diamonds and circles, I'm going to deliberately mismatch because we have a chord, but if I play something that ends in a triangle, he isn't going to have a triangle to match with it. Ah, oh, great. It all ends in triangles. I think we're down for the count, lads, because that's a mismatch and he's not going to be able to play one that matches mine. Maybe this flavour instead. Surely we can find something that's to your taste. I don't think so, Salem. Kimchi might not be for you. Never fear. Palates are fickle things, ever-changing. If you'd like to try again sometime, I'm always here in Aldhurst. But I love kimchi. You aren't quite sold on what Salem has to offer. Or his tone. That's fair. Might grab one of these. Some diamonds. Place this boring thing. Oh no, this one. Yeah. Nadine whistles for you to come over, like we're a dog. Nadine, loading up her vehicle with pots of kimchi, whistles for your attention. It's hard to tell if the condescension is intentional or not. I just realized my dressing gown is on the back of my chair. No, my cozy gamer aesthetic unveiled to everyone. All 5 people watching. So you made it. The caravan splits here. I don't take greenhorns out towards Old Moray. Too dangerous for your maiden voyage. If you take the direct road back from here, you'll be fine. It's mostly downhill that direction. Scenic route, too. She's sending us home. If you can't handle the kimchi, you cannot handle this town. Speaking of liabilities, have you seen Ramir? Lost him around Clifton. I hope he's not getting into too much trouble. Well, he made it to Buckenborough because he made me drive him there. Then he wandered off up to Anka. Sorry. I'm not my neighbor's keeper. Listen, out of respect for your mum, I'm going to tell you something I probably shouldn't. Ever heard of the Rilkers? They're practically royalty in Old Moray. They've got ties all over the place. Their word's law, and they've threatened to shut the caravan out of Old Moray if I don't drop Bartow from the route. Now, I'm not one to bend so easily, but it does make things more complicated. Your store really needs to shine for the caravan to stand up to them. So she's being blackmailed by the Rilkers. We'll find out more about them. I mean, if we go down that route, there are other things to uncover. Why this is happening now, I can't say. Could be your mum had some dirt on the Rilkers. Word is she had some run-ins with them in the past. And all accounts, they're the type to hold grudges. I love her cape. I want your outfit, Nadine. The timing could be better, but it's important you understand. Your mum, she was a complex woman. She had lots of opinions, and made a habit of making waves wherever she went. Not the easiest person to travel with. You follow this caravan's path, the same one your mum took, and you're bound to learn some things about her. Some good, some not so much. As for you and me, I don't believe kids always take after their parents. That'd be unfair. So don't start trouble, and there won't be none. I run this caravan so no one else has to, and I like to run it a certain way. Safe. You endured the caravan route. You're grateful for Nadine telling you the whole story, even if you're not sure what to do with the info. So the caravan is continuing up onto Old Moray, but Nadine hasn't told us how to get there, so it's just a dot on the map for us. I wonder, do we have time to go up to Anchor? Nah, see, it takes until the 33rd to get there, and if we look at our calendar, we need to be back with our items by the 33rd. So, pretty much nothing for it but to head home early, because once towns have been crossed out here, there's no one to speak to us right now. Let's take the scenic route home. Yes. Another fatigue card. But we do get a fatigue opportunity. So, resting on the roof of your truck one evening, you browse through some of Mum's old notes, and if we choose to recall her stories about the road, Mum always loved visiting Pachenko and reconnecting with old friends. Thinking of her, you feel some of your fatigue melt away. You get to remove a fatigue card. And we get this cute little picture of us sitting on top of the truck. Catgirl relaxation moments. I'm saying Catgirl is like a catch-all for the species. The protagonist doesn't really have a gender. So there's a stranger. He's slicing an apple with a pocket knife. Perhaps you shouldn't talk to him. So the stranger speaks in squares and diamonds, and I only have one diamond card and no square cards. And I know from experience that this dude, has high requirements for a concordant conversation and only one chance for it to be discordant. So I'm going to steer clear of him for a while and chat to my bestie. Yeah, stranger danger. He's got a knife and he speaks in squares. I'm avoiding him. You see a man speak in squares, you stay away. You find Elias at home, sitting on the floor, surrounded by craft materials. Glue, markers, cardstock, thin polystyrene sheets. He looks exhausted. Hey, look, we made it back in one piece. While you were gone, I made something you can stock in the store. Bartow keyrings. People love souvenirs. Looks like you got plenty of stuff for the store already, but these will be popular. They'll make good mementos to help travellers remember Bartow. You don't owe me this time, unless they're really popular. Oh, and you won't believe what else I found when you were gone. Check it out, your mum's old locket. The locket from the tutorial case. I say tutorial case because I have Ace Attorney brain rot. It's not a case, it was a conversation. It was a chat between friends. Don't worry, I won't get upset with you for taking it this time. In fact, I think you should. A good luck charm of your own. You might need it out on the road. Anyway, how was the caravan? Did Nadine say anything else about Bartow or your mum? You didn't have to break the news to anyone, did you? I bet rumours probably sped fast on the road. That's the worst part, is telling people that someone's dead. Because the hardest part about that is they don't know how to react to you when you're the person closest to the dead person. I always used to talk about death in like really blunt terms, but after my mum passed, I started using the more gentle, like sort of passed away terminology, just because it it was harder for people when I said it in like really blunt way, because then they had to sort of like figure out how to navigate my own emotional state, and that was like putting too much on them. So it's easier to just stick with the safe euphemisms when you're just, talking to someone you don't know great. You managed to get Nadine to tell you more. That's impressive. You're a natural. I wonder what the Rilkers have got to do with your mom. They've got ties all over the place from what I hear. No wonder they're able to pressure the caravan. Gotta say, Nadine kinda intimidates me, but maybe there's more to her than meets the eye. It doesn't need to be more for me. I just see a big mean woman and I'm like, yes ma'am. You're immediately in the right. I guess you have to be tough to make it out there on the road. Kinda like your mum was. I wish we saw more of the Catgirl MILF. I mean, maybe we do in a route that I haven't unlocked yet. Sounds like they butted heads. Still not sure I trust Nadine. Rilkers or no Rilkers, it'd be real bad for lots of good people if the caravan stopped coming here. We gotta keep the store doing well, so there's no excuse for them to drop barter from the route. Oh, beans. I hate having discordant moments with Elias. You must be tired. It's okay. Trips always take a lot out of me, too. He's such a good egg. Whatever. I won't make a fuss when Nadine comes around. Maybe. But she's not some authority on your mum. Elias is bursting with excitement over the store. Hopefully these keyrings will be a hit. Everyone has keys, right? Just a fact of life. He found her locket and he made us some key rings, which he insists are the best souvenirs. I'm avoiding the stranger, so I'm going to unpack. Oh, I forgot this. Coming home to Barter after time away feels strange, like someone rearranged your bedroom while you slept. All the same pieces are still here, mostly. But what's different and what's misremembered? There's no telling. Unpack my stuff. Put it onto shelves. Oh, note from Elias. Welcome home. When everything is unpacked, let's hang out. So we got 4 things. Little fast forwarding noises. And our fatigue cards are gone. Yeah, he's a cute little vignette. We get one of these at the end of each trip. Hanging out with my boy. You and Elias catch up, picking up right where you left off. You tell him about your first time in the quaint town of Aldhurst. He tells you how proud he is that the store's grand opening was a success, praising you for stocking an impressive 4 items. Will it be enough for the caravan to stand up to the Rilkers? Yeah, all that stuff's sold out. We get to see who bought what. The solar technician waxed poetic about the sun in Clifton while picking up his groceries. Bought the dried nuts, and we got from him learned the road from home to Clifton. A man wearing a hat and sunglasses bought a Bartow keyring, praising the artistry in a deep voice. The skateboarding teen was excited to find licorice in stock, his favourite treat. We've pleased the teens! The conspiracy theorist almost forgot his groceries while telling you about aliens in Bukampur. I haven't gotten this one before. I've met the solar technician before, and I think the skating teen once or twice. I've never met the conspiracy theorist who thinks there are aliens in Bukampur. This is the thing about this game. It's just randomized enough to give you some extra fun bits and pieces, even when playing a route that you've done before. A flock of mourning doves. Yeah. Okay. Guys keep appearing. A flock of mourning doves bunch up on a dormant power line, bending it beneath their weight. Little scuffles break out. Miniature avian dramas raining down feathers. The road calls. So, Samuel is here. But we can't talk to Rohit, who also just appeared. He's a new face at the caravan, busy preparing for the road. Just a little guy. You're a little birthday boy. Just a little birthday boy. Samuel, the owner at the roadhouse and Mum's old friend. Samuel's out back by the smoker, flipping an enormous wrap of... This is the hardest part about streaming. It's remembering how to use my mouth. Remembering how to use my mouth? The fuck am I saying? I can't speak. Samuel's out back by the smoker, flipping an enormous rack of ribs with his bare hands. He's been at it so long, he barely feels the flames. He wipes his greasy mitts on his apron, then rushes over to give you a bear hug. There you are, kiddo. I was starting to think you'd forgotten about your old pal Samuel. I haven't seen you around much so lately. Not since the funeral. I love him in his little dyed hair and beard. Fashion icon, Samuel. Great tats. General all-round style king. Yep. Liz and your mum left a giant-sized hole in this town, that's for sure. Everyone here's been so damn down, including myself. And the fact that business has been so slow around here lately, well, that don't help things much either. It's good to mourn, but let it go on too long, then it becomes a mope. That's not good. Not what your mum would have wanted. Been thinking. Bardo could really use a kickstart. A pick-me-up, if you will. A night of fun and dancing right here at the Roadhouse to rejuvenate the town and hopefully even bring in some new customers. What do you think? Chatter allows you to immediately play another card. So, if you play that, then you get to do another one instead of letting the person take their turn. So Samuel will play the next card after this. Already spoke to Elias about organising a show portion of the evening. And guess what? He says he's planning on doing a special performance. Didn't realise he knew how to play any instruments, but hey, that kid's full of surprises. I don't know if he played any instruments either. I don't think Elias does. I'm also going to be cooking up something special for the occasion. But that reminds me. Think you could help me stock up on my secret ingredient? The secret ingredient is different every time. Well, it's a set of things that can be randomized. So sometimes it's the same, but sometimes I've had different ones. Tell me your secret, Samuel. Around Sandy Canals, they sell these canal chilies. I haven't had the chilies bit yet. Amazing eat level. Sure to add a real kick to the festivities. So now we have to convince people to tell us how to get there, which is the hard part. Thanks, kiddo. It's so good to see you holding down the fort. I know it's hard, but we'll get through all this together. Samuel's jubilant disposition is infectious. He sends you on your way, but not before giving you another hug and a handful of smoked ribs. We're just walking down the middle of the town eating a rack of ribs with my bare hands. So we're on our second trip of 5. So here we know the caravan's route already, so we know where they're going to be. But we don't necessarily know where all these places are or how to get to them. But the important thing is we've got to be back by the 46th for the show to give chilies to Samuel. And Elias, you locate Elias by following the sound of a woodwind instrument. He's standing on a rock performing for an empty field. You've never seen him use an instrument in his life. I need your help. Samuel told you about the pig event, right? We're going to pull in so many visitors we won't even need the caravan. Maybe. I'm going to perform, but I'm not a musician. Why didn't you? I think he specifically volunteered to do this, which is the stupidest part. Seriously, I only have this plastic recorder. I can't go on stage with this. I'd die right there on the spot. If you find any instruments on the road, please grab them for me. Not for free, of course, I'm good for it. Maybe you can find something at the big Althurst Cook-Off Festival. Your mum used to bring back the best toys from that. I mean, I'm too old for toys now, of course, but they sell instruments there too. Yeah, it's been 15 years since we were kids squabbling. We're like, at minimum 20 years old. I know you're too old for toys. And from the sounds of that recorder, I know you need an instrument. In the meantime, I'll just practice with this recorder. Worst case scenario. Just remember, you're not alone. We're doing what we can to help keep this town on the caravan route too. This behavior is unusual for Elias, this desperation for new experiences. Your promises alleviate his worries, at least for the moment. Elias needs an instrument, and we've learnt about the cook-off. So, here's the thing. Aldhurst will be hosting a community cook-off. Community cook-off! Jesus. I don't want to know what a community cook-off looks like. But I am kind of curious. They'll be hosting a community cook-off from the 21st to the 35th, but the caravan will only be in that town from the 17th to the 19th. So if we want to go to the community cook-off, we'll have to branch away from the caravan at some point. Nadine is checking in with caravaneers, kicking tires and preparing for the road ahead. If you ride with the caravan this time, it's the full route. No training wheels. Think you can handle that? I usually expect folks to be more experienced before taking them along. I'm making an exception here. I won't hold your hand. I can help around Rimina, but I've got to look out for everyone else too. I have never actually played a route where I was with Nadine in Rimina, so I don't know how she's going to help us there. Maybe worth a shot. Oh, you can see Nadine's got some squares and diamonds. Maybe she's been chatting to the stranger. The road from Aldhurst to Rimina is mountainous. Be prepared. Okay, well, she's given us one more road than we already know. Starting off good. I came by the store earlier. Not bad. If you keep this up, Barto might stay on the route after all. Okay, 4 items is a good amount. Believe it or not, I have faith in you. You made it to Aldhurst your first time out. It's a promising start. That's a pickup card, so you play it, and then you get to choose what gets added to your card afterward, to your hand afterwards, which are your cards you're going to be picking up for the next one. She's still on. I don't think she has any diamonds. Yeah. So what we'll do is this. You know, you are welcome to ride with us, but I won't lie and say the caravan is always the easiest route. It's good for providing safety and expertise, but it's a long road. You'll get a good haul, but you'll be exhausted by the end. I'll get you there, but it's still on you to acquire the goods you need. Just remember, you can't please everyone, and you'll have a hard time on the road if you try to. It's like the moral of the story. Well, moral. It's the major theme in the narrative. No, the bots. They're here again. Be gone with ye. I don't know how to ban people. I keep forgetting. Sorry about this. I don't have any mods or anything, so sometimes robots will show up and try to sell us things. Okay. I think those were the only 2 robots that showed up. Just while I'm in this little break, I'm gonna grab a drink. We'll be back momentarily. Okie doke. I'm back. I got my water bottle. And I also have some delicious shortbread stars made from my neighbours back at my dad's place. They're very nice. Impromptu Christmas mukbang. I want this thing with the doubles and the doubles. Nice. You can play either one of those symbols. Stranger danger. First stop, Pachenko. We've met a lot of people by now. The whole first page. Well done, guys. I'm saying well done. You're just watching me. Where'd my phone go? The streets are rowdy with celebration. Parents corral their children around dynamic sculptures. Old friends collide into spontaneous talks. Dog tails wag with the velocity of fan blades. Is it always like this around here? Isabella. She looks stressed from performing too many tasks. Oh, poor Isabella. Though her store smells as good as always, she seems stressed, split between tasks that would keep multiple people busy. Oh, it's so lovely to have you back. Could you put on those gloves, please? My assistant didn't come in. Don't worry, I won't work you to death. I just need you to prepare an ice bath while I stir this mixture. What are you making, like hard candies? Well, she got one that's like forks. How firm do you like your licorice? I don't add much flour anymore. Too tough on my teeth. I like my licorice super firm. I love black licorice, but only when it's super, like the hardest of the hard. Yes, this will be a good batch. I can tell. Soft, chewy, almost closer to gelatin than licorice. That sounds disgusting. I'm sorry, Queen. I only like it when it like breaks my teeth. That's how your mum preferred it, you know. Well, Catgirl MILFs can like whatever they want. It's so nice having you around the shop. Marcus and I haven't been getting on lately. Her word carries a lot of weight with the Circle, Pachenko's wealthiest patrons. Round here, they're the closest thing in town to a governing body. Reckon their wife friends have been avoiding me. Oh well, just think of it as one more reason to stop by and see me again soon. Helping Isabella out is always a worthwhile learning opportunity, especially as one of Mum's friends. Learning opportunity? She's talking about how she's being shut out of her community. It's nice to learn things. I might get rid of one of these. That's Mark's. There's an outdoor art show in the square with a well-to-do crowd in attendance. Your dusty attire raises eyebrows as you browse. Stopping to study an oil painting of an abandoned city, you're suddenly aware of being studied yourself. Don't mind me, I can't help but delight in the sight of the new faces around Pachenko. My name is Marks, and this lovely little show is all my doing. I heard about your mom. Please accept my deepest condolences. I'd have rolled out the red carpet if I'd have known of you coming. So is that piece your favourite? Well, it's a bit dour for my tastes, but to be drawn to that piece in particular, you must have a keen eye for art. The city in the painting is horror. Once great, now dead and abandoned. Why did Mum have stories about like an abandoned city? It's distracting to focus on the unpleasantness of the past. Wouldn't you rather enjoy some cute cat paintings from a circle artist? I don't know if I'd prefer an abandoned city painting or a cat painting. Like, both of those seem awesome. If you haven't heard of the circle, strange, but your attire does suggest you've been spending your time under a rock. Well, no matter, you're here now, and it's no accident, you see. I, too, have a keen eye for talent. The circle is Pachenko's council of patrons, of which I am one. Obviously, our guidance is what set this town apart from the others. No art means no vision, no future, the makings of a dead, sterile civilization. Not unlike horror here. Your mum shared the circle's vision, you know. Many years ago, Pachenko was her home. The town owes a lot to her. The first time I met her, I had a very good feeling. The same one I feel talking to you now. I do hope you'll come back. The circle can always use new friends. The tension there of Marx and Isabella not getting along, but both of them having allegedly good histories with our mother. Our mother. We are all siblings now. Alas, I must really be running along now, but please have some wine. Consider it a welcome gift. Don't be shy, I always provide far more than my guests can drink. No need to thank me now. I'm sure we'll talk again soon, won't we? Mark seems to know more than she lets on, but she wasn't kidding about the wine. The crate of red wine is almost too heavy to carry back to your truck. Bottled in Vrimina, but given to you in Pachenko. And we learned about the circle and Hara. Just a lot of facts going on. It's annoying when you have to take on a card that you really don't want and you've got like a nice deck going on. Sometimes you have to make little sacrifices. So the other Caravaneers are just like checking in on each other and getting ready. So it's time to go. Oh, God. Every time I sneeze, it's like an explosion. Get that from my dad. I swear, he shakes the house when he sneezes. Well, we know where Hara is now, but we don't know how to get there. Heading on to Clifton, and it's time to finally talk to Rohit. On this visit, there's more time to observe the distant beauty around Clifton. The rows of sheer cliff faces, portraits of sedimentation built through centuries. Must be why so many rooftops here have chairs and tables. Alexis, but they seem to be sad. Few goods remain in Alexis's stall. You'd think they'd had a wildly successful sale, if not for their dour demeanour, hunched over in a wicker chair, rolling a walnut back and forth between their palms. Nut fondler. I'm sorry, I had to say that. Like, it arrived in my brain, and I was like, you must speak these forbidden words. I'm sorry, Alexis, you're lovely. You're a lovely nut fondler. Oh, keep away, my friend, or my bad luck will spread. I'm afraid my stall has been robbed. Yes, it's true. Ah, yes. Yeah. However could such a thing happen, you ask? Well, I am much too trusting. I know the culprit. Klaus. In fact, I know her so well. I know she's fled to Desert Oasis. But do not think of justice, my friend. The road to Desert Oasis is long. Too long. I'd never advise travel there. Certainly not on my behalf. In any case, the damage is done. Everyone in Clifton knows I've been robbed. That's all that matters. Around here, to be stolen from is an ill omen, and bad luck spreads. You're the only one willing to talk to me. That's such a rude-ass culture to have. Like, nobody can help this person who's been robbed, and they're like, no, what if I get robbed? Don't touch me. Stinky thief germs. Worry not for me. Yes, this is only an obstacle. My customers, the true victims, deprived of delicious nuts. No nuts for us to fondle. You talk Alexis down from their spiraling anxieties. It's a bad situation to be sure, but it's not the end. They seem calmer when you leave. So now we know how to get to Desert Oasis. And we also know that Klaus will be, that she fled there, but she'll be escaping soon. So we can either continue with the caravan or try and get to Klaus at the Desert Oasis. See, the thing is, when the nuts are the secret ingredient, when they can be, you have to just be like, oh, okay, fine, guess I'm driving into the desert. But this time I'm going to try and stick with the caravan as much as possible. Rohit managed to get nuts, though. He's loading pecans into a truck. Rohit diligently loads crates of pecans into the back of his pale blue truck. A dust gale blows through, which leaves him spitting out a mouthful of sand. He jumps when you walk up behind him. He's a little guy, little birthday boy. I'm so sorry, I thought you were Nadine. She's, kind of scary. Wait, please don't tell her I said that. I'm grateful that she let me work with the caravan. It's not like I could have ever come this far on my own. Plus, she got me an amazing deal for these pecans. If you pronounce it pecans, I'm sorry. Let's not fight. Me? I was working at my parents' grocery store before joining up. They didn't want me to leave, so I stowed away in the back of Nadine's truck. He is the produce now. Yeah, I was really surprised when she let me work for the caravan instead of dropping me off at Pachanko. I bet caravan travel comes naturally to you. Your mum was one of the first people to join up, right? Rohit is new to the caravan life, but he's no less eager to learn the ropes. You help him load the truck as he chats about his home. So, is he from Pachanko? I was never quite sure where his family grocery store was. Yeah, there's the Desert Oasis. It's in the exact opposite direction of where we're going. Matilda has offered to read our fortune. And this is a rest stop opportunity, which usually allows you to upgrade your cards, I think. So, rest stop, off the side of the road, travellers sit sharing stories. We're going to join them. Nice. One woman entrances the group with the story of a massive dust storm outside Clifton. You listen and learn, preparing for the road ahead. So we can get a single-use accord. I never know where to put these. An older woman reads a worn-out hardcover on a wooden bench. A couple races their bicycles down the load road. Everyone looks her way as the caravan passes. Matilda sits in front of her tea table, cross-legged on a pillow. Her store is dark, shades drawn, dimly lit only by candles. She opens her eyes to invite you forward. You're here for the matcha! How did I know? The leaves just told me. Would you like your fortune told? I'll walk you through the ritual. Just take a seat in front of your cup. Go ahead, drink, leave only a little. I'm not sure if there is fortune telling with matcha. My grandma could do loose leaf tea fortune telling though. That was cool. Isn't that warm? Sit for a moment, chill out, think about your future, all the potential paths ahead. And now, as promised, I'll read the leaves. Hold on, I don't recognise this symbol, gotta look it up. Sorry. Bugs, standing water. This is totally a swamp. Better dress for mud. There's also something about a love left behind. Okay, so we've gotten a clue about Pursery. Okay. Haven't gotten that one before. Wow, that was fun. Thanks for letting me tell your future. It's a rough road to Anka, so not many people come anymore. Maybe if they ever get the railroad running again. Okay, we now know how to get from here to Anka, which is good. Oh, and more matcha. Oh, we've got like the inverse of that one. We're heading down to Oldhurst. Oh, Pursery. Mum grew up here. Maybe somebody in a neighbouring town can tell me more. I think I've done one run where I ended up here, like by accident. And I have no idea how to get back there again or like what lore I learned. Okay, let's get to Oldhurst early for the cook-off. You come across a roadhouse packed with travellers while a storm darkens the horizon. You pull off and avoid it out. Now we can choose something to gain chatter. We'll override existing effects. Oh god, we only have one diamond card, I just remembered. We're back in Diamond Town. The central plaza bustles with families out enjoying the weather. Weavers and rug makers in their open-air workshops and old folks playing cravar in the shade. We've read that before. Salem's looking very pleased with himself. It is my cat. The air is ripe with anticipation, or maybe just fermented organic matter. The town buzzes with talk of the coming cook-off, and the rivalry between Salem and Totsuo. Let me guess. You're here to cheer me on, aren't you? Don't worry, I'm more than prepared for the upcoming cook-off. At last, Tosato will be unmasked for the pickle pilcher that he is. Dang it! Perhaps your taste is somewhat less developed than I thought. Let's just stick to circles. Or not. Fate is full of surprises, but it never makes mistakes. In the end, the deserving prosper and the undeserving are punished. It has nothing to do with luck. What do you think? Cabbage or cucumber? Bright red or mellow yellow? Trick question, I'm going to do it all. What, you ask, is the secret to making profoundly wonderful kimchi? Why, it's believing in yourself, of course. That's so dumb. I'm sorry. This conversation's going to end. I wanted to hear you say more stupid things. Oh, you finally show up, you and your bloody diamonds. Before you can have a truly transcendent culinary experience, you must first let down your walls. Oh my god, this guy. Muttering under his breath, Salem returns to his jars. That's when you hear it, the welcome sound of silence. And you're not even going to get me any more diamond beginners. Okay, I guess. At least now we know who Tosato is and we can talk to him. Just a moment, I'm doing a thing. God damn it. Just drumming up more viewers. I think we're down to 2. Just jamming out to this now. I feel like an old man whenever I use my phone for anything. Just like, I was like, tap the buttons, yes. Okay. Stepping into Toast shop is like dying and going to pickle heaven. Among jars stacked almost up to the ceiling, the proprietor appears to be having trouble with a stubborn lid. What's this? A visitor. Wonderful. You've come at just the right time. Do give me a hand with this jar. Okay, Grandpa. The elaborate inherits the right-hand symbols from the previous card as the... Yes. As the right-hand symbol for this one. So that card is naturally just circle and diamond. Since it has elaborate effect, it takes on the previous card symbol, which is a circle. So now it ends in both circle and diamond. Phew, there we go. Note to self, stop screwing the lids on so tightly. Not that it matters. I can already tell this batch is not up to snuff. Our recipe calls for my family's distinctive vinegar, but my shipment from Haruto has gone missing. What is that darn brother of mine playing at? Doesn't he know what's at stake here? Our signature flavors depend on that vinegar. Without it, I'm sure to lose the cook-off. Concordant diamond conversation somehow. So, should you happen to find yourself in Rimina, would you do me a small, teeny tiny favour? Find Haruto and make him see reason. I'll make it worth your while. You agree to help Toster, even though you have a sneaking suspicion your while will be worth more than pickles. Yes, good. Rohit's jamming out. The Altos Plaza is full of residents enjoying the warm evening. Erhu, Zerna, and violin melodies blend to form discordant harmonies. The music parallels, occasionally meets in the middle, and clashes often. Nobody seems to mind, Rohit least of all. Do you want a pickle stick? My treat, since this is my last stop this month. Nadine says she won't take me on the full route this time, so I'm heading home till next month. Yep, I'm going to Finsbridge, where my grandparents live. Okay. He's from Finsbridge. That doesn't pop up, so it's not like a place we can go. Business hasn't been great in Sunrise Valley, so my parents are also moving back. There were a lot of trades that we couldn't accept because my parents didn't know what to do with the exotic merchandise. I really hope that I can use some of my new skills and knowledge to help my family restart the business. Dad never trusted me to handle the numbers, the accounting, or the logistics. For some reason, he still wanted me to take over the store, though. I'm enjoying life on the road, though, but I do miss him. Is the music coming through from you guys? I'm just realizing it's not pinging. Hold on. Sorry. Always the thing with streaming is that I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we've got the music. I can't believe it took me until... What is it? An hour and a half to figure out that you guys couldn't hear the music. I'm so sorry. I was singing along to that shit too. Shit. Well, I hope you enjoyed my musical stylings. My parents haven't got a store anymore, but they still have their son. I'll be back next month. Hopefully Nadine lets me do the full route then. I want his shirt. Where'd you get a pizza shirt, Rohit? You wish Rohit safe travels and good luck on his return home. He seems more confident than when you first met him, and optimistic about the future. Again, sorry, just stuff to fiddle with. Make sure everything's working. Okay, next up is Rimina with the caravan so we can see how Nadine actually helps us there. It's also where we can get the video for Tusto. So we've got Tusto's brother, and also an android. Let's talk to Nadine first. Rimina lies among the hills, overlooking terraced vineyards and the coast far below. Packs of children run across the crumbling limestone walls around the outer limits, pretending their sticks are ancient swords. Nadine's inspecting a truck. She's helping a caravan member load up their vehicle with a variety of vinegars. She notices you watching and waves you over. You've done well to come this far, and on your second trip out. Normally I prefer greenhorns to have even more experience before I take them the rest of the route. But I know it's desperate times for your shop, so here we are. Our next stop is the home of the Rilkers. They might have influence in other places, but Old Moray is theirs. There's no shame in turning back early. Even if we're let into the city, folks out here are tough negotiators. Just remember, don't try to befriend everyone you meet. You act too naive out here, you're just gonna make yourself a mark for the more savvy. Well, we know how to get to the next spot, but that's where the family that hates our mom lives. Whoa. Older model of android, rarely seen. An android walks down a dirt road near Rimina, an old model in good condition, besides the fresh mud from toe to knee. Several seconds pass before it senses your presence and initiates conversation. Small wonder no one smashed it for components. Hello. I don't recognize your facial structure. My memory failed to load your name. Are you here to take me home? I don't know my location. I've walked for 67 hours, 10 minutes, and 11 seconds. 12 seconds. 13. I was near Old Moray in the past. An air conditioner named Gull turned me around. Now I walk. Please categorize yourself. The following categories are valid: flower, door, opossum, locket, fire hydrant, other. This student is locket. Backtrack. Removes all cards back to the last valid match. Shwoomph. Like that. I need to get better at learning how to use that. Where are you located? Yes! Successful diamond conversation somehow. Loading data. I'm XN220. Hello, you're a truck. No, you're a truck driver. Thank you for the connection. Correction. Are you a friend? XN220's model is rarely seen outside of old books and advertisements. It takes patience to converse with it, but its sentences become more coherent as it collects more data. Still, it's unclear where this android thinks it is. Here we go. Haruto, where are you keeping your brother's vinegar? He bottles up vinegar and resentment, so don't get on his bad side. Haruto pops up behind the tasting counter to greet his latest customer, but he frowns upon seeing him. The store feels more crowded than usual. We've never been here before, probably due to the large shipping crates stacked high at every corner. So my brother is running out of his vinegar supplies, is he? Well, I certainly know nothing about that. His old man-ass glasses. They always look like that. You see, if you have two here, and you take them on, you get all of them with them. What can I say? It's not my fault that Tusto is so bad managing his inventory. No, not my fault at all. How dare you, accusing me of intentionally withholding shipments from my own brother so that his stupid pickle business will fail miserably. Leaving him no choice but to come crawling home and ask for his old job back at the family vineyard. I'm sensing some mild resentment here, boys. Okay, I'll admit, I may have held back one or two of the shipments that he ordered. My vinegar is simply too good to be used for pickles. Especially if those pickles are made by an immature man-baby who shirks even the slightest responsibility, bringing deep shame to his family. There's a lot of lore here about these guys. Yes! Another successful conversation at Diamond Town. I'd be more than happy to say as much directly to Tosto's face. For what reason would he ever had to come back to Remina to visit his poor, put-upon brother? Having some extra vinegar in supply, Haruto crooks open one of the unshipped cases and hands you a bottle. He tells you to do what you want with it, just don't give it to Tosto. You should report back to Tosto. Or we can sell our vinegar. Swapsies. Now, let's go to the Rillica homeland of Old Moray. See, we've been to Althurst, but it's still open because we have something to do with Tosto. There's also the community cook-off until day 35, so we might, loop back once we get to Tosendi Canals. If we can get to Tosendi Canals, because this is really hard to unlock. Oh, what was that noise I made? It sounded like an angry duck. Donald moments. See, these are square and diamond, just like the stranger. This is gonna be difficult. Stay on your toes, boys. Hey! As you pull into Old Moray, a stranger steps in front of your vehicle. She digs around in her pockets and pulls out some sort of identification. I just want to, identify the Old Moray background, because what it is like a big skyscraper city that has been global warming and had the sea levels rise, and so now it's kind of like a Venice. I don't know, I think it's really cool. Hold it! You can't just drive into Old Moray with a loaded truck. Let me take a look at all this. Don't move. Ah, crap. I don't like your tone. Oh, we're gonna bomb out immediately. The Rilkers hired me to clean up Old Moray, and that's exactly what I'm doing. There will be no smuggling here under my watch. I'm not smuggling anything, I just don't know how to speak squares. Nope, that's it. Turn your truck around. You won't be entering Old Moray, not on my watch. After a stressful encounter, you're turned away from Old Moray. Great, so now we have to break off from the caravan. I don't know how to get to Sandy Canals. As you turn aside from the main road to Old Moray, Nadine waves the rest of the caravan on and speaks to you. I'm afraid this is it. I know that's Herschel's bunk, but there's nothing we can do. You've done well to come this far. Better than I expected. I hope at least you have a better understanding now of how the Rilkers can make life difficult for the whole caravan. Yeah, sure do. I have so many fatigue cards. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. The fact remains, I can't hold up the whole caravan for one person, and I can't change what's happened. You're going to have to make your own way home from here. Sandy Canals will always be there next month. But you didn't give me the road. Ah, I need chewies. I need chewies for my boy Samuel. Your truck skids down the swampy coastline, tire treads choked with mud. The towers of Old Moray rise offshore, high above the city itself. No wonder Nadine doesn't take caravan newcomers here. So we can head back to Aldhurst for the music festival. And then we can try our hand at Anka and see if maybe we can get over to Tosendi Canals from there. Because I need to be back in Bartow by the 46th, and it is currently the 27th. Get here, we'll take it to the 35th. Oh, how long does it take to get to Anka? 46. Ah! Oh my god, we can't get to Tosendi Canals. I'm sorry, Samuel, we can't get chilies. But at least I can get rid of one fatigue card. And then immediately earn another one because there's a black square. Yep. Boom. Well, at least we only have 4 instead of 5. All around the central plaza, tables are heaped high with fragrant dishes and homemade treats. Some sort of festival is underway. Towards the back of the plaza, 2 especially large stations dominate the area. It's his big day, but he looks a little off his game. Tosto is baking last-minute cook-off preparations in his back room, or as he likes to call it, his lab. He gasps when he sees the bottle of vinegar in your hands. Ah! I knew it! So my undoing is indeed the work of Haruto. Oh, matter? You have done well to bring me the vinegar! I didn't say it was giving it to you, I was just telling you what was going on. My family's fine vinegar is what gives my pickles their signature taste. Without it, my extraordinary pickles are merely ordinary. Now, a lesser pickler would no doubt despair in my position, and who could blame him? It takes time for a cucumber to evolve into a pickle, yet the cook-off is upon us. Fortunately for us all, I am no mean pickler. I'm Tosto. There is no way Salem wins this cook-off. God, these dudes. Such guys. You making a mistake is as unthinkable as an inedible pickle. Often, reporters ask me, Tosto, what's the secret to making an outstanding pickle? That's when I smile and say, being me, of course. Gets them every time. This fucking guy. Now, all I have to do is employ my patented rapid pickling process, or as I like to call it, the Tosto method. I'm afraid I can't let you see this part. Top secret. Okay, dude, I don't want to know what you do to these pickles. Thanks to your efforts, a villain will fall at the cook-off. You have done a great thing, my friend. I suppose I have Haruto to thank for the vinegar, too. Tosto ushers you out of his lab. Soon strange noises begin creeping out from behind the door. I didn't get the chilies or an instrument. Fuck. Desert Oasis. Nope. Okay. Nope. I'm gonna have to go home in disgrace. All my fatigue cards. Card 2 game observe. Bork! A storm kicks up as you approach Barter. Rain, thunder, the whole drama. A stray mutt runs into the middle of the road. You hit the brakes and honk your horn, trying to scare it to safety, but it doesn't run. Boop. Scare it. These won't expend them, but you know, it's just good to have them. Peppy! Scratchy, 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 scratchy. Bark, bark. Woof! The mutt hops into your passenger seat and looks you with love in his eyes. Guess you have a new companion. You call him Thunder, and he doesn't mind. Spending time with Thunder makes you less fatigued. I lost a fatigue card. Elias runs up when the truck comes in. The more you return home, the less it feels like home. The birds learn new songs. The roads play tricks on you. Fresh dramas become ancient history. Everyone lives their lives without you, the same way you lived without them. Elias drums his knuckles on your window before you've even unbuckled your seatbelt. Hopefully that little composition means he's prepared for the Roadhouse performance. You found an instrument, right? I'm not screwed. The recorder sounds so bad. I'm sorry, King. You didn't find any instruments? Not even a cheap guitar? Oh, this is bad. This is so very bad. Well, I have become pretty awesome with the recorder. Relatively. We'll see. You are me. Not only are you coming to the Roadhouse, you gotta cheer the whole time. Louder than the booze. I hope we pull in enough visitors. Elias will have to make do. He looks devastated. No. No. I've fallen short of my bestie. My bestie Westie. Samuel's cooking up food for travelers. I don't have his chilies. Fine. Stranger danger. Let's go talk to the stranger. Folks often pass through Bartow and stop at an attraction or two, but they never stick around. Yet this stranger's been here for weeks, smoking cigarettes, spitting sunflower seeds, always in the outskirts. What goes through the crow's mind when there's no food for miles? I don't know, King. This town. It sticks in the lungs. Can't breathe back out. Just collects, builds and builds. The balance shifted. The sun comes up a little later, a second or two each morning, like it wants to get away from us. Bro, that's called like seasons. Like I think it's just like getting towards winter. It's not a problem. Careful, foe. I've got a bad side. I don't have any more relevant cards. Sorry. This is why you stay away from strangers who speak in squares. You've got a lot of nerve. He nods at you knowingly. You're not sure what to make of this exchange. But this is useful. Time to unpack and enjoy Elias's shitty little performance. I do have 4 items though. We've got wine for the party. Oh god, there's no one here. You're doing great, bestie! You and Samuel make up half the crowd at the Roadhouse show, much to Elias's relief. We cocked that one up, and now there's cobwebs in my store because nobody's fucking coming to our town. The skateboarding teen was excited to find licorice in stock. I'm glad the skateboarding teen is happy at least. Not much we can do for our community. Elias called the pickles an unbeatable dill. Terrible. The school teacher bought the red wine for a picnic with her husband. That's very sweet. I'm glad. Well, we've been going for 2 hours, and we're right at the cusp of a new journey. So I'm going to call it here. Thank you to everyone who showed up, who chatted. Thank you for everyone who was not a bot. And I'd like to do this again so we can finish this run. Later, y'all.